All right, very pushed for time at the moment, so there isn't going to be a normal video tonight, but I am finally going to release the draft system, and fingers crossed it doesn't break. But as you can see, it's a very large update to the site because it's been so long since the last update. So the draft system is available now. To get to it, you go versus here. Previously this said challenges, now we've got arena and versus side by side. So you click draft system. You're also now able to import packs. So if you have a custom pack already made, you don't have to build it from scratch in the designer. So all you got to do to host a lobby is click on draft there. There's a whole bunch of stuff here that really you should read before you go ahead and host anything because it's important, but for the sake of keeping this video short, we're going to skip over it. This bar will turn red or orange if there are potentially any problems if I have to turn off the system. But for now, it should be open. So host a draft, you just need one person out of the group to host, and then everyone else uses the join option. So we'll click host here. Maybe I should explain what a draft is quickly. Essentially, the idea is you have a partial custom pack with a bunch of blank spaces in it, and then you take turns picking pets to fill the empty spaces, and then you play a versus game. So pretty straightforward and very similar to the way the draft works in other games. So we've got a bunch of different options here for how we're actually going to host the draft. The draft system will always be the same. This is just how are you setting up the initial pack. So simple draft is what we've been doing in all the draft videos so far. I'll link the last batch of those videos in the description if you want to actually watch us go through one instead of just me talking about it here. So for the sake of this video, I'll just use this one, but we've also got random. You can build a custom pack, and you can also use any of the weekly packs that have 9 pets per tier. So we'll go host a simple draft. And I've made a couple of little changes here. So you can actually now play one player if you want. So if you're going to do a random draft, for instance, you could actually just play by yourself. It also makes it a lot easier to give the system a try. You choose a team name. There's a whole load of different options. But essentially, whichever pet you pick in the list here will replace the word pet here. So we're Team Crane. Choose the packs. It's very, very important that everyone has the same packs because otherwise it won't work. When you get to the game, although you can now make a pack with pets you don't own, you can't play with it. So just make sure that you check with everyone beforehand what they have. And then if there's a particular pack that someone doesn't have, you just turn it off here. It will mean there's fewer things to draft from, but that's just the way it goes. Then we've got art style, so you can choose to use a standard art if you want to. And then you pick 4 pets to be the code for the lobby. So this is the code that you're going to tell the other players, and they will use it to join. Pick the contents of the starting pack. Now, for all the videos, we've been using, which one is it? This one here, Turtle Variant 3. They're all slightly different here, and maybe if people come up with good preset draft packs, then I'll add them into the list. But for now, just pick one of the preset packs. So that's the same that we've been using. No food, but 3 pets in tier 3 and tier 6. And then banning, you can ban specific pets, so if you think a particular pet is broken, I mean, lionfish probably not anymore, but you can ban them. And then you can grant vetoes to the other players, which means they get to ban stuff. It's only pets though, you can't ban. Vetoes cannot be food because there isn't really enough food in the game at the moment. But you can actually ban food here if you felt that something was broken and you don't want it to be taken. And then you don't really need to pay too much attention to this viability check unless there are any red or yellow cells in the table, which will mean that there's some kind of a problem. Either there are too many players, not enough pets. But if it's all white like this, there's no problem, you can just carry on. And then we've got the standard bot check to make sure bots aren't creating lobbies and using up codes. And then lastly, if you're a streamer, you need to make sure that you hide your address bar because the draft info is encoded in there. I'm running at the moment, press F11 in Chrome to go full screen, and then that will get rid of the address bar. I'm sure most streamers probably know that already. And then all we have to do is click create lobby. And then we end up in the lobby here. Now, normally the draft button would be disabled while you wait for other people to join, but because we set it was going to be a solo draft, it's enabled by default. If there are lots of people, up to 6, then you can have it automatically randomize the draft order. But otherwise, you'll be able to choose the order. You know, you can have funny little competitions to see who gets to draft first. Or maybe if you're doing 2 drafts, you just reverse the order in between. And then once you're ready, you just copy the names of the pets here and then send it to the other players. Probably worthwhile having a group chat going so that everyone knows what's going on if the draft has to be paused for any reason. But also if you've made a mistake here, you can just abandon and start over. And then moving down to pack contents. So it just shows the pack that I selected, and all the other players will be able to review what we're going to be drafting into. It does also give you another warning in terms of the paid pets that are included. So in this particular one, we've got anglerfish and poodle. So it says there are 2 pets in puppy pack that you need, and then 1 food in star, which is the strawberry. This pack was designed for all us YouTubers, so everyone already has all the packs, but this is just a sort of a final warning in case you didn't pay too much attention on the when you joined. But if you do join a draft by accident and then you realize you don't have any of the pets that are required, the abandon button here will say leave for other players, and you can just quit out. And then pinning pets, this is basically like prioritizing pets in your list for things to pick. So we'll just pick a couple here, and then we'll show that when we get to the draft screen. It's kind of pointless for a solo draft, but we'll just do that to illustrate it. And then the banned pets and food will show up here, so you can know in advance that you're not going to be able to draft them. And then if the vetoes are enabled, you'll also be able to select the pets here. So I'll just go ahead and start this draft. It will look slightly different to normal because it's only me, but it's easier than me having to join in a separate window. So here we go, start draft. So then it loads up the draft system, and we've got the pack that's waiting to be filled on the right, the draft board with the picks in the middle, and then everything that is available to be chosen still on the left. And at the top, the order of picks would normally alternate between the teams, but of course I've set it to be a solo draft, so it's just me picking every single round. And you can see that the pets that I pinned in the lobby are highlighted green. If you want to unhighlight something, you just click on it and go toggle pinned, and it will be removed. And you can do that with anything. Probably useful to do that right at the start of the draft while you're waiting for other people to join. And then picking a pet is as simple as clicking on it and then choosing draft. And then once you've done that, it will move on to the next person in the order at the top. Of course, it's me again, so I'll just draft another pet. And we keep doing that until the entire pack is full, and we can then go and play. Now, as soon as you've finished picking in a tier and there's no more pets to pick, the tiers will be removed. So you can see there tier 4 was removed, and when I pick once I pick a couple of pets from tier 5, it will go as well, and we'll just be left with tier 6. You can see there lionfish is banned, so you can't actually draft it. And then we'll draft a couple more things and finish off. And once you've picked the last pet, it will just say the draft is over, and then you go down here to the bottom, copy the code. Then one of you needs to be the host in Super Auto Pets, and you have to make sure that when you create the game lobby that you have any packs allowed rather than same as host, because everyone's going to have a different pack. And then you copy and paste this code into custom packs and use that for your game. So hopefully that's relatively simple. There are more advanced features available for people who already know what they're doing, but I think I'll maybe leave that for another time. Do let me know in the comments if you encounter any problems, or maybe if you have other ideas on things you'd like to see changed or added.